Hi folks, welcome back to Chrono Cross and episode 6 of our walkthrough Let's Play journey through the game. We last left off having done the mini game in order to get the mana key, so if you missed out on the dragon mini game and that's what you're here to watch, then just go and check out the end of episode 5, that will have what you need. So without any further ado, let's move on, and we're going to go back out into the grounds here, and we are at night, don't forget, so everything's a little bit dark. And thank you to those of you that have been watching. Are we going to avoid that? Yeah. Been watching so far and have been playing along with me. It's great to have you on this journey. And thanks as well for those that have been supporting the channel by various means. Your support is very much appreciated as always. Now we're going to head over onto this side. And this will be somewhat familiar to you if you have been playing with Pierre as your guide, because this is the way you would have come through. So what we're going to do is, first of all, go through the encounters, of course. I've defeated all the enemies, including the guards that are watching over the front entrance to the mansion, the main entrance, which we will need to go through. Now, just before we actually do that, let's just grab a couple of optional items. There's a chest here. I actually already opened it off screen. Sorry about that, but it contains an ointment. So make sure you grab that. And then if we head over to the left-hand screen, this will take us to the main gate. You remember the one we couldn't access because it was guarded? Well, it's still guarded, and there is a little bit of funny dialogue that you may witness. But apart from that, we do just want to grab this chest here. This contains a turn yellow element. And that's it for the optional items on the outside. So let's start making our way to the inside. You won't be able to do this if you don't yet have the mana key, but you only need to do 10 feeds in that mini game to get it, so you should have that by now. Just head to the gate, or to the door rather, and you'll hear that little clink, just to signal that you have unlocked it and can then go inside. And here we are in a brand new area, so there's going to be a number of things to do in this dungeon. There's a number of items for us to grab. There's a number of things for us to see, and a number of places for us to go, along with, of course, bosses and the usual stuff. So let's make a start. Now, the first thing you might notice in this room is this strange statue here of a snake. So we can actually go ahead and interact with that, and we will just select turn it. We can turn it. Let's just turn it 7 times. I probably shouldn't have chosen that many, but not to worry. Okay, there we go. That'll do fine. And that puts us into a collection cage. Just what we wanted, eh? So, by the way, I don't think it matters too much what number you put in. I mean, I put in the number 7, but you don't have to do that. Anyway, Kid does what Kid does best and antagonises the enemy. So, surprise, surprise, we won't be leaving here without a fight. But hey, if it gets us out of this cage, then I'm not complaining. That fight is just against 3 of the soldiers that you've already been fighting, so it's not a boss or anything like that. But we can, of course, use the old adage of just stealing the suits of the guards in order to make our way through the prison. You know, the kind of trope that I'm sure you're familiar with from various movies and games, other than this one. Okay, so first of all, there is a treasure chest down here, but it's actually not a normal treasure chest. It's a monster chest. And here's the interesting thing. The battle is going to spawn 2 enemies, or 2 chests. Only one of them is an enemy. The other is a prize. Now, which one's which? Well, you don't know. And I do believe it's randomized on every playthrough. So, what you need to do is attack the right one. Again, you don't know which one it is. And if you attack the chest that's not an enemy, you'll get your prize, some loot. And if you attack a chest that is an enemy, you'll have to fight it and you'll miss out on the loot. Fortunately, if you get the wrong one, you can actually escape from battle. Little tip for you there. And start the whole thing over again. So which one should we go for? Big or small? It doesn't matter. It could be either. Okay. Looks like it was the right one. Which means we get our prize. Now, I think you always get 100G. And you'll sometimes get an element, but the element can be randomized. So we've got the 100G, and I've got the Ice Lance element. But you may not get that. You may get another element. Although I don't think I had Ice Lance, so that's a decent haul right there. Anyway, nothing else we can do in this little room for now. Instead, if I can line myself up here. Apparently I can't. There we go. Yes. There's actually a hallway here. And we're just going to... You can see there's a number of doors and what have you. It is worth mentioning that. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the red carpet down here. If you run on it, can spawn enemy encounters. So you might want to just run to the side. Oops, I forgot we do need to go through the dining room first. So just head back into the previous corridor and go through the first or second door here from the right-hand side. Now, when you first come in, there'll be a bit of a scene with Glenn. And he'll just mention the fact that there's a password. He doesn't say what it is or anything. But now there's also a couple of items that we can grab. First of all, this chest here contains Dragoon's Honor. Now, you may remember when we first recruited Guile that he was talking about a bet he had going with a magician, fortune teller person in Termina. And that bet was to see if he could retrieve this particular item. So make sure you get this, especially if you're playing as Guile, as that later is going to be able to lead to another reward. And in here, we can say hello to Orcher. He doesn't give us anything, but over here, we can loot something, a turn green element. Anyway, that's all there is to do in the dining room, but we did need to pop in here just to get Glenn out of it. Okay, now the next thing we can do, or the next thing we want to do, is go to the barracks area. And there's also a save point in here, so again, avoiding the red carpet. We're going to just make our way into this entrance. We do have another save sphere. Not save sphere. What are they called? Record of Fate. I always forget what they're called in this game. Anyway, you'll see that Glenn was writing something on the wall there. So as soon as he moves away, we can access the wall itself. And we get this bit of a hint here. This week's code, 8 to the right, 7 to the left. And I would strongly advise you make a note of the code because yours will likely be different to mine since it's randomized through every playthrough. Okay, so just jot it down on a bit of paper. Now, over here, we get a new element, Revive. This is very important. Do not miss out on this, okay? Revive is how you bring your characters back to life when they die in battle. Remember the last episode? We lost Kid, I believe it was, and I had to restart the whole flipping boss fight so she didn't miss out on her star level. Yeah, Revive can help with that. So you don't need to restart necessarily if you can bring them back to life, obviously. Just whatever you do, don't miss it. You'll regret it. Well, could potentially regret it. Maybe you'll never need to use it. Anyway, let's go ahead and save. We're done in here for now. So we can head upstairs at this point. So let's just go into the first door. Now there's going to be 2 chests in this location. Also, this interesting individual down here. Harley Quinn. Oh, I love it. Anyway, yeah, there's 2 chests. The one on the left is another one of those enemies. Well, you know the routine. 1 enemy, 1 prize. So we'll see if we get it right or wrong this time. Last time I went for the smaller chest. I think it will be 2 smaller chests in a row. I think it might be. And... apparently not. So, yeah, get to show you what's happening now anyway, because we chose the wrong one. Oh, dear. I'm not playing Final Fantasy X. We can just choose Run Away. Oh, and since it's the first time I've ran away on this playthrough, we get a trophy, a tactical retreat. I haven't actually looked at the trophy list yet. It wasn't available when I first started playing. It's only just been made available literally the last few hours or so, I believe. So we'll have to see how difficult the platinum's going to be for this game. Okay, so now let's go for the larger chest. And there's our prize. So again, we'll get 100 gold. And a chance at another element. I think you will always get an element. But the element you get, as I say, isn't always fixed. Last time we got an Ice Lance. This time we got Aero Saucer. And then this chest is just a regular chest. This one containing a turn black, which I don't believe we had. So that's nice to get. Anyway, that's all there is to do in this particular room. Now, there's not all else we can do in here for now. So we're just going to head back downstairs at this point and continue looting this joint. Again, trying to avoid the red carpet. And we're going to make our way over to the right-hand side this time. We've got a couple of guards here. And they're going to go ahead and ask for a password. What's with you guys? Say the password. And there's 4 options. We're not going to pick any. Instead, if you wait, correct. The password is silent. It doesn't actually take long, to be honest with you. Even if you just end up not knowing what to choose and having to think about it for 3 or 4 seconds, you're going to get the right choice. So I think that's by design. Okay, well, we can enter the vault. Now, we've got Kid in our party, but if not, then she'll actually be in this room. However, we still want to come in here because there's a number of items we can grab. Another one of these mimics, as I'm going to call them. It's a Final Fantasy nut. Now, last time it was the large chest. So let's go for the large again, shall we? We haven't had a repeat just yet. And it looks like we still haven't. So, we get to try again. At least we know it's the small chest for this one. Okay. Right, let's go ahead and attack the correct chest this time. There we go. So, you know the score. 100 gold plus an element. We've had an Ice Lance, aerospace, I believe it was. And let's see what we get on the 3rd occasion. Another Ice Lance. Fair dues. We've got 2 of them now. Right, so... Oh, we do get a bit of a scene with Kid, even if she is in the party. Yeah, good thinking. So if we inspect the pedestals, we can take a shield, a hero shield. And the middle one. Tell you what, trying to line up sometimes can be a bit of a nuisance. Copper mail. And finally a weapon, a copper sword. The shield, by the way, we won't be able to put to use because I believe it's just Pierre that can use that. And he certainly isn't for us. Oh! I think this is the room where there's a vase that we can inspect as well. Yeah, it is also a monster. But we do get a reward for defeating it. So this is a fine looking individual, Potty. Bit of a play on words because it looks a bit potty, doesn't it? Both literally and figuratively. Yeah, I'm liking the damage that we're doing now with our physical attacks. At least with Surge and Kid. I mean, Guile's a little bit on the weak side, if I'm being brutally honest, but he will get stronger as the game progresses. Don't worry about that. Okay, let's go ahead and use Wander in for a nice boost here. You know, bit of damage. Oh, yeah. Still not dead, though. Let's see if we can remedy that. Yeah, it's like a genie in a bottle. Okay. It is in its low HP stance now, so we should be getting through on this round. Hopefully, if we don't get these stupid misses, that is. Wow, still alive. See if Guile will do the honours for us. And he does. Perfect. Okay. Another element. Actually, 2 elements. We got Cure as well. But we actually get the turn red always. Okay, that's not random. That's guaranteed. And actually, we need to do this here because this is going to lead us to a boss fight. So, yeah, make sure you've gone ahead and done all your mini stat gains, which you really should have by this point, let's be honest. And then we're going to interact with the treasure that's on the wall. Let's go ahead and grab it. Yeah, just grab it. What's the worst that could happen? Oh, yeah. This. This is an interesting location, isn't it? One thing I didn't do is actually sort out any of our elements or the like, so let's hope we don't get any deaths because we haven't got Revive equipped. Well, at least she lets us out. The boss, by the way, is innate green. So yellow elements such as Electro Jolt, I think it's called, would really be your friend here. But we're going to have to kind of wing it. So this is a boss against 2 enemies, both of which have 160 HP. So fortunately we're still set up from the previous boss, which means I have got a lot of cure. We're just going to focus them down one at a time. Yeah, they do a fair bit of damage though, so... yeah, just really try and get the first one down as quickly as you can. Hopefully we won't get any misses here, but we did. Okay, at least we're getting our levels built up ready for casting elements. Yeah, 28 points of damage. Not very pleasant. Hopefully this one should go down very soon. Come on. Let's see what elements we've got active, shall we? We've got Fireball, which, you know, ain't brilliant, really. Fireball again. Meteorite. Let's just go for Meteorite. It's white, so it's not going to do anything special. Green is what you want. Yeah, 43. Takes care of it. Leaves us with just the one. Oh, 47. I think we're going to need a heal soon. But let's do a dash and slash. Look, we've got recover all. Maybe we could test that out. If you remember, we collected this from the mini game that we did, feeding the... I was going to say feeding the chocobos, feeding the dragons. So, yeah, that's a really nice ability, that is. It's going to be a huge, huge help to us going through the next part of the game. So hopefully you guys did pick that up. Right, what elements have we got here? Just wander in, which is actually not a bad one, so really no reason not to use it in each of these boss fights. Yeah, and there we have it. Yeah, a lot easier than the eagle that we fought previously, but we do get a star level. Which is why I said make sure you've done your minus stat gains. Along with 400 gold as well. And some more of those aero saucers. Do you guys like aero? I think the mint aero is my favourite actually. Well, she seems okay with us destroying her monster. If we head over here, we can see a monster that kind of looks out of, well, doesn't quite fit in with the others. So this is Pip. And Pip isn't as evil as the other monsters in this location. So we can engage with Pip a couple of times, and eventually we'll get the option to unlock the cage, which we are going to do. Now, a little bit later on, as long as you do this now, you'll actually be able to get Pip into the party. However, if you ignore Pip here, then you won't be able to. Okay, I think that's all we need to do. Yep. And we can also chat again to Lucia. Yeah, it gives us a bit of information on Pip. We don't need to speak to Lucia right now. But we can do, if we wish to do so. I believe that Lucia will also join us. But not right now. Yeah, look at this. Extremely interesting, all of us. That's because we're a group of interesting people, I'd like to think. Right. Okay, let's go ahead and bust the monster up here because we'll be able to get to a save point then. The save point is just the one that was back in the barracks before, so this is completely optional, but something I like to do. Running on the red carpet again, not the greatest idea, although I think I've actually done all the monsters that drop down from it already. Back outside the lab, the door on the right may have an eye in front of it. If you run into it, you're going to engage in a battle, or if you wait for it to close, or if you kill it if you do engage in a battle, you'll be able to go into this room here. And inside this room, there's a chest over here which I've already opened, but it contains a copper helmet, I believe it was. And over here on the wall, there is a shield located. A decor shield, which we can access. And we can actually put that on the armor over here that doesn't have one. You can see there's one missing. Oh, we'll just use the square button. And then go ahead and select the item. This will put us into a battle against a bunch of enemies. One of the good things about fighting those soldiers, it was actually a little bit harder than I expected, but they do drop these capsule items. Now, these are good because they are single use, okay, they are consumable, these elements, but they do recover medium HP. So better than the tablets that we've been using. But there's not all else to do in here, so let's go ahead now, and we're going to head up the right-hand staircase. So we are getting through this place, slowly but surely. And we're going to skip the first room. Oh, I forgot about the red carpet. There's a pretty neat little mechanic here with a chest that we're going to want to loot. By the way, we can actually see that Karsh is in here. You remember Karsh, but of course right now we're dressed up to the nines in this armor, so he won't recognize us, but we can ask him some information or request some information off him. He doesn't tell us a whole lot, only that he's got orders to capture Surge, really, which we already know, of course. Right now we can go up to the chest and Karsh will tell us, nope, not happening. Now we can actually keep clicking the confirm button, and Karsh is going to go through a whole load of dialogue. And we need to keep doing this. And I mean over and over. 7 times now, it seems. But even so, not enough. He's then just going to get to the point where he's counting up and up, as you can see here. We still persevere. And eventually, we should be able to get an item from doing this. Imagine if there was no item, and this goes up to like 1,000 times. I could guarantee there would still be people thinking there might be, and would not give up. That'd be really cruel of Square to put that into the game. Okay, 19 times it was. And there we get a Dragoon Gauntlet. Not too bad at all. And after we've looted that, we're going to head all the way back over here. And look, we're back at the starting location. So the good thing is we now have a bunch of items. And we also have the password. So we'll go back over to the snake statue. I can once again reposition myself. Such a small little object there. Okay, and this is where you need to put in your password that you managed to find from the wall earlier on. For me, it was 8 times to the right, 7 times to the left. Make sure you put in the correct one or you'll be dumped back down again into that cage. And you'll have to run all the way back out, although it's not a really long journey, let's be honest. The worst comes to the worst. And look at this, we can now access the next part of the dungeon. Now, there's a few monsters. I'm going to take care of them. Make sure that you have gone ahead and maxed out your minimum stat gains, because there is a boss fight coming up. Okay, I'm not getting any more stats now. You might want to... I didn't need to go out there. You might want to go ahead and have some red elements equipped. Okay, the next boss is innately blue. And then you're going to head over to the left-hand side. Don't forget as well, if you haven't already, to have revive equipped. You never know when you might need that, so it doesn't hurt to have it ready. Wow, this is an interesting area, isn't it? We're just going to run through to the other side. Can head up. We need to go all the way up, but yeah, there's not a whole lot to do around here, so we shan't keep exploring that part of the zone. Let's just make our way up to the top floor of the library area. And who's this innocent-looking girl? I'm sure she's not dangerous at all. Well, now we're out of those rusty uniforms. But she don't seem too phased. Well, she's got that right anyway. Some weirdos. Yeah, I recommend in this fight to try and fill out the field effects with red, so along with some fireballs, I've got a bunch of tablets equipped as well. They're the heals, if you remember. They're not all that great, but they are red, which is what we want, ideally. At last we seem to be getting some answers. 10 years ago, something happened that put your very soul teetering on the balancing scales of fate, with a 50-50 chance of life or death. This is when your future was split in twain. In your homeworld, you survived to live a happy and prosperous life. That is how you made it to the present point in time. However, here in this alternate world, you are in fact dead and buried. You died 10 years ago, but this world's timeline has flowed on regardless. You have no place in this world. Here you are but a ghost, brought back from the past. I do not know what happened 10 years ago, nor can I guess what triggered your entrance into this world. The locations where such divisions in the time-space continua occur are called Angelus Errare, where angels lose their way. It is said that there, the borders of two dimensions fluctuate in such a way as to make the passage between the parallel realities a possibility. Perhaps in this world you are the missing piece from a giant puzzle, and maybe, just maybe, the vacuum created by your non-existence here has drawn you across the border between the dimensions to fill the void in that puzzle. Of course, no one can say for sure. Yeah, this guy seems to have the answers for us. However, it appears as though these two worlds are connected by some unknown force. Depending on the location, the two worlds influence each other in strange ways. I am quite certain there is a wormhole that connects the two parallel worlds. For your information, if you press the options button on the controller that you're using to move through this world, while on the world map, a menu will appear that allows you to display which world you are in. Your home world or another world. Select on to display this. Yeah, no way of not breaking the fourth wall there, I presume. If what you say is true and this world is an alternate reality, then why the bleep did Serge die? The reason has to be something that happened 10 years ago. You can only find out by moving on. Except Marcy has other ideas. And so does Kid, it seems. I don't think they're going to see eye to eye, are they? Yeah, even the Prophet isn't getting involved in this little spat. And we're off again. Yep, this boss fight is a little irritating. There's a status effect, I think it's freeze, that is super annoying, but I do have... Do I have the... Is it ointment? I forget which item removes it, but I think I have it equipped. So we're going to start with our basic attacks, of course. You know the routine by now. Yep, apparently the routine is miss. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan, in all honesty, of how the hits work in this game. I think it's a little overly, unnecessarily complex, having the physical attack broken down into 3 parts. But it is what it is. I actually enjoy how the normal attack, physical attack and elements work together. I guess Square just felt that wasn't deep enough in and of itself back in the day. Now, Marcy here becomes far more dangerous as she gets lower in HP. So really have those heals ready. You are going to need them. Yep, 38 points of damage. Perfect. We shall, of course, be using our own elements in a short while. In fact, I might start to do so now so that we can begin to... What do I want to begin to do? Oh, yeah. Getting our stamina back up for potential heals as the boss gets to lower HP. My brain's a bit mushy at the minute, you'll have to excuse me. It's getting late in the day for me. Guile doesn't have the strongest physical attacks, but we have got the boss down now into critical range, so yeah, this is where things will get a bit tricky here. 61 points of damage. Yeah, let's recover all. It's what it's there for. I know we can only use it once, but there is a chance that Kid could be killed if attacked again. Okay, Ice Blast is very nasty. This is what can freeze us as well. Yep, just like that. And what do you know? She casts it twice. Fortunately, Kid was able to survive. I think we just need to really start going all out here, because the boss is very dangerous. We did it. Perfect. Okay. The good news is that unlike KO, freeze doesn't stop you from getting your star level. Otherwise, we'd have to have restarted that encounter. So after Marcy goes, we get a bit of a conversation again with the Prophet here. And he's actually kind enough to tell us how we can progress further. Behind the second to last pillar on the left is a button to release the platform. That's in the large hall area. Before we leave here, though, you might have noticed there's a bit of a chest up there. Okay, I was running around for ages then, but this is the switch location, just where Serge is standing right now, okay? Just interact with this part of the bookcase, and that will allow you to drop the ladder down. That was a bit of a nightmare to try and find just there, and then we need to go to this side, of course. The item itself is a turn white element, so we don't want to miss out on that. And yeah, we're pretty much done in the library for now, so we can go ahead and leave. We do have another little mini battle thing coming up along with another boss fight, but first of all we're going to go ahead and have this automatic conversation with Harley Quinn. Is it just me, or does Kid just have to aggravate absolutely everybody we meet on this journey? Okay, fair enough. Everybody we meet are villains and want to see us destroyed, but still. I mean, there's a time and a place. Okay, we don't kill the guards. We don't need to, because as per the instructions from the Prophet, we just head behind this pillar here, second on the left. Again, me trying to line things up is never a pretty thing, but there we go. We're going to push the switch. And that will lower the thing down there, and that will then force us into the combat. Okay, and yeah, another switch for us to push. There's a save point, if I remember correctly, just through here, so obviously if you need to take a break, then this is a good time to do so. We do have yet another boss fight coming up in this area. Oh wow, just had a terribly stressful experience. There's been a bit of a lengthy cut between now and the last bit you were just watching. Yeah, I was recording that on the Friday night. Went to have a bit of my drink, which was a large glass of water. The whole lot went all over my desk, all over my keyboard. Oh, it was a mess. I was in such a panic about it all. I literally lifted my keyboard up and water was pouring out of it. Yeah, not a good situation. So rather than spending the entire weekend recording 4 or 5 episodes of this playthrough, which was my intention, I've ended up having to disassemble the entire keyboard, blow drying the whole lot out with my wife's hairdryer, and putting it all back together again. Fortunately, it's all working, but it means that Monday morning, and I'm still only just recording the last part of the same episode. One of those situations that you just don't want to happen, complete nightmare, but hopefully it's all over with now. But apologies if I didn't get as many episodes recorded as I wanted. So again, these are just going to have to be coming out on a daily basis for the foreseeable future. But I am still committed to this series. Don't worry. I didn't want you to think that I wasn't. Just things don't always go to plan. Anyway, let's carry on. So here's the save point I was speaking of, the Record of Fate, at the end of the last part of the recording. Now, in terms of setup for the boss that we're about to face off against, all you really need to do is make sure that you have some of your powerful healing abilities equipped, but don't put them on characters that already have white damaging abilities equipped, because the boss tends to counter those abilities with an anti-white element, which is going to stop your heals from working, such as Recover All and Revive. So, yeah, you know, I've given Sergi Boy here a meteorite, given a meteorite to Kid as well, and then Guile over here has access to Revive and Recover All. So hopefully that will suffice, and we'll try and steal, or pilfer as it's known, from the boss. I'm not sure if we'll be successful at that, but we haven't done it yet, so it's a good idea to give it a go. Right, so we're going to head into this door here. We will, of course, just wait for that giant eye thing to disappear to avoid battle. It goes without saying, make sure you've done your minor stat gains, because we will be getting another star level after this fight. And interact with this object on the desk, and this will kick off our pre-boss cutscene. And what's this? Secret room through a bookcase. Well, here comes the general. The general of this manor that's given us such a lovely time so far. Just going to move my glass of water right in front of the keyboard, and I do not want a repeat of what just happening again. Especially whilst recording the same episode. Yeah, meet Lynx. Yeah, so once again, Kid is not seeing eye to eye with somebody. And so, surprise, surprise, Lynx is going to be our boss fight. Now, Lynx has 820 HP, has the innate element of black, which means white is going to be a good counter, but as I say, Lynx tends to actually counter our white attack elements with the anti-white element, which is going to prevent them from working from that point forth for a little while. But as always, we're going to start with some physical attacks. Let's get our elemental level thingy built up. And I like the fact that Serge is doing a nice bit of damage now with his physical attack, thanks to the various weapon upgrades we've been equipping. Yeah, his strong attack does about 48 now. Which is obviously really good. And to be honest with you, Kid isn't too bad either. Which is why I have her in the party. I'm always somebody that prefers physical attacks in these sorts of games over magic attacks. That's just, you know, more in line with my play style, but elemental attacks, obviously, in this game are also very, very important. And, you know, if you prefer that up front, then you will probably have Poshul in your party instead of Kid at this time. And let's just go ahead and element, shall we? Oh, we could do dash and slash, since this should be a nice damaging ability here. And I am going to be looking at healing up. Kid, should we try for that steal? It's a little bit risky because Surge is already out of stamina. But I do want to put this to the test because we've not really used it yet on this playthrough. Yeah, stealing in this game is kind of annoying because you can't just spam the attempts. It does deplete all your stamina every time you attempt to do so. Which is, as I say, just really irritating, but it's just the way the mechanic actually works here. Oh, okay, anti-white gets cast anyway. Oh yeah, it's because it was a counter to our dash thingy attack that we used. So we can't use the heal on Surge at this point, but it's only for a turn. In fact, he doesn't have the heal equipped, it's Guile, so that's fine. Oh, she's actually got stamina built up again, thanks to Guile's attacks, so... Oh yeah, but we can't steal, because we can only use it once per turn. So, yeah, that's kind of annoying. If you do get a successful steal, I did write down, what was it? A magic ring or power glove you are able to attain. It seems we are getting neither, sadly. But you've seen how this fight works now. Obviously, I would like to make the most of the Recover All ability, since it is such a wonderful ability to use one time in battle. So I would like him to do a bit of damage to Guile if possible, to make that worthwhile. Oh, see that crit then for 88 points of damage. Very, very nice. Okay, Nostrum is a heal ability. Let's just go ahead and... yeah, Meteorite. What can we do with Meteorite? 42. Pretty terrible, really. But it is what it is. To be honest with you, this boss doesn't do a whole lot, does it? Yeah, we'll get anti-white on Kid. That's fine. Kid isn't going to be doing anything else in terms of anti-white right now. Surge is back in full force with his white elements, although again, it doesn't really matter. And the boss has gone into his weak animation. So, yeah, we'll take that hit. And we're going to make the most of Guile's heal now. So, let's recover all. And we'll do this before the Wander In ability. Okay, we'll build up Guile's stamina. It is fairly comprehensible, the battle system. You know, once you get used to it, it just does take a few battles to really understand what's going on and stuff. I know it puts a lot of people off the game, but once you get into it, it does make sense. And there we have our 8th star level. So, a nice bunch of stats coming our way. And let's just go ahead and heal up. Oh, we get a Graviton element as well. We did have that cast against us a couple of times, so it's nice to actually get our hands on it ourselves now. And it's time for some more scenes. Yeah, that boss wasn't too tough, so hopefully you guys got through it okay. Ouch, my ears. The cutscenes in this game are very pretty, aren't they? Hey, look, it's Riddell again. Okay, so we have an abductee in tow, which should hopefully allow us to make good our escape here. Yeah, it certainly looks like we're a little trapped, doesn't it? The Chrono Trigger. Well, there's always a way out, isn't there? One way or another. Okay, now we actually get access to the save menu at this point. So make sure you use it. And I would also strongly recommend unequipping Kid. So I'm going to go to equip here. Yep. Okay, I don't think we can actually unequip the copper mail, which is annoying. But it is what it is. Yeah, I've taken the accessories off for now. And also elements as well. Okay, Kid is going to, well, not be with us for a while. It's quite possibly the best way of putting it. So there's no real way of mentioning it without spoilers, is there, sadly. So we'll choose remove all on elements. And then the only element we can't remove, of course, is Pilfer, which is Kid's innate element. And with that, I think I'll save again and finish the episode, get it edited and uploaded for you guys. So thank you so much for watching. I hope the video's helped you. If it has, don't forget to drop a like to support the channel. And catch me next time as we continue on with our Chrono Cross playthrough. Bye, everybody.